Hey there, welcome back to another video with the Math Doc. Today we're focusing on one single question, which is how do we graph a linear inequality? And if you need background on how we actually deal with linear equalities or linear equations, we have a whole playlist of videos dealing with those problems, and it will be helpful in this whole set of videos on linear inequalities. So again, this video will focus only on how we graph linear inequalities. Let's remind ourselves of what types of inequalities we can have. So you see here in this table the different symbols that show the relative size of numbers or mathematical expressions. We have the equality here, right? We know this type of symbol, which we can use, say, x equals 5. We know that that means that x is equal to 5, right? We have the less than symbol right here, where sometimes we will see it, words that define this symbol as less than or fewer than. We may have lower than or even smaller than. So we have the different phrases that are used when we are looking at this type of symbol for the less than. We also have less than or equal to, where we have the less than symbol. I'll enlarge it here with the equal, another line that symbolizes that we can also be equal to. So that is less than or equal to, or another phrase would be is at most. So something could be at most, say 5, or no more than. So those are the type of phrases we can find with this symbol. Then we have the greater than symbol right here, and we can have phrases like more than, higher than, bigger than. Again, all these phrases that show that something is larger than something else. And finally, we have greater than or equal to. So something can be either bigger than something or equal to it. So we also have the phrases is at least, all right? If something is at least 5 pounds, weighs at least 5 pounds, or something is no less than 5 inches long. So these are the phrases that define the larger than or greater than or equal to symbol. So let's get started, and what we're going to do is we're basically going to use the number line to graph every one of these situations, and well, that's all we're going to do in this video, but this will help you understand how we graph these inequalities. So let's actually start with the equality. Let's draw our number line, and let's so we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1, -2, -3, and so on, right? So we have the numbers growing in this direction and decreasing in the other direction to the left. Now let's graph the equality x equals 3. To do that, we find 3 and we make a circle and we fill it. And that is the graph of x equals 3. We found the number on the number line, and we made a note of it. So that was pretty easy. Let's go on to our next one. Let's graph x is less than 3. And I'm going to switch around colors for all of these. So I'll do x is less than 3 in red. Okay. Now, I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw another number line just so that it won't be so confusing. -1 and -2. Okay, now when we do x is less than 3 but not less or equal, we don't fill our circle. So we find 3 and we make an empty circle. And then we say, well, it has to be less than 3. So 4 is not a good number. 5 is not a good number. But 2 is. And 1 is. And even -2 is. So what we do is, and we'll use now the blue here. So we have all the numbers, and we show that it's all the numbers with an arrow, all the numbers that are less than 3. And by using an open circle here, open or empty circle, we show that it is not equal. So that means that there's no equality. So we only take all the x's that are less than, and again, when we have this arrow pointing all the way to the lowest numbers to negative infinity, it means it's all the numbers that are less than 3. What happens if we have the case x is less or equal to 3? Let's draw our number line again. 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1, and -2. Now when x is less or equal to 3, now we find x again, but this time because it can be equal, just like in the case of the equality here, we fill our circle, right? We have a solid circle, and again, because it could be any x that is less than 3 as well, we use the arrow to show that it's any x from 3 and under. But again, because we have the equal sign here too, we use a full circle, a filled circle. So let's go on and graph now inequalities that have a larger than symbol. We'll still use the number 3. Let's go to another color. We'll try this purple here. Let's say we're looking at x is larger than 3. Larger but not equal. Again, let's draw our number line. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -1, -2, -3, and -4. Okay, so again, because we're looking at a larger than but not equal, we find 3 and we draw an open circle because again, it's not equal to 3. Now we're looking at all the x's that are larger than 3, so we have to go up in the number line, and so we show this with an arrow pointing all the way up to the largest numbers, to positive infinity. And again, this is because 4 is okay, 5 is okay, they're larger than x, but 2, 1, 0 are not okay. These are not numbers that satisfy this equality. We're looking to graph the x's that satisfy this equality. So finally, we'll use one more color to draw our final type of inequality. X is larger or equal to 3. So here again we have the larger symbol with another line to show that there's also an equality. Let's draw our number line. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1, -2. Okay, so again we find 3. We have 3. This time we have the larger or equal to symbol, so we fill our circle. It's a solid circle to signify the equality. And again, with an arrow, we show that we're looking at all the x's that are larger or equal to 3. So anything larger than 3 will satisfy this inequality. So this is how we graph inequalities. It's quite simple, but it's very useful sometimes to understanding an inequality and how to solve it. In the next video, we'll actually look at some simple problems where we will use the graphing to help us solve an inequality, again, where we have a variable such as x. So thanks for joining me again. If this was a helpful video, please like. If you have any questions or comments, please include those below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.